The retail space has gone through major changes in the past 3 years. It faced challenges from the global pandemic, supply chain, and most recently from sticky inflation that has added to the mounting challenges. Consumer habits have changed too and pivoted towards omnichannel shopping, where a seamless shopping experience is expected when shoppers buy online, in-store, or using the mobile devices. Remember the bed shopping experience I shared with you in the beginning? These omni-channel experiences are far more difficult to build and consistently deliver against. So let's hear about a retailer that learned how to take these experiences to the next level. I'd like to welcome Omar Koncobo to the program. Omar is the Senior Director of Digital and E-commerce Systems at Ulta Beauty. Omar, please.
Hi, happy to be here at RedisDays. I'm here today to share with you how Ulta is building a digital muscle in the world of beauty. My name is Omar Koncobo. I'm a Senior Director leading the digital and e-commerce channels at Ulta Beauty. I have about 20 years of experience in the field of IT. Worked in different industries, including security trading, pharmacy, insurance, and retail. I'm also a coffee and cocoa farmer who happens to love tea, and I don't know why, so don't ask. My favorite sport is soccer or football, depending on which part of the world you're coming from. Ulta Beauty. Ulta Beauty is the largest U.S. beauty retailer and a premier destination for cosmetic, fragrance, and skincare products, hair care products. Ulta today operates about over 1,300 stores across the whole country. Been with the company about 10 years. During those 10 years, done a lot of different activities, wore different kind of hats in the point of sale system, our marketing system, our mobility systems, ran performance engineering and all those kind of activities with the company. Actually, when I started with Ulta, I was on the e-commerce side, and back then, the e-commerce was about a couple of $100 million revenue a year. Today, it's over $2 billion. So it's been a great journey, and we had some excitement, and here to share some of those with you. We pride ourselves in what we call a wow experience. So we have over 3 million daily visits on our site. Those numbers are actually numbers that's been normalized to remove all the bots and crawlers and everything. So with such volume, you would expect some, glitches here and there, oversubscribed systems. Yet we have been running smooth, growing about 50% year over year, keeping a great experience while sustaining such big growth, right? So in order to keep that going, we need to bring in some help, and some of those friends that came in to help us is the Redis team. Help came in savings, right? So basically by implementing, we're able to actually reduce 75% of our cost, and that's going to be some of the key takeaway from today. We'll be able to show you how we were able to achieve that with our Redis enterprise team. Our journey, so as I was sharing, we pride ourselves in the wow experience. So our OmniGuests, which are the guests that are buying both online and in our physical stores, they're twice as much valuable, or they're likely to spend twice as much as a single channel visitor, like somebody who just uses the store or just the e-commerce channel. With that, they expect the experience to be smooth, whether they're physical or they're in the digital, the online channel. During COVID, a lot of them came online expecting to have an account already existing online. Right, so which we didn't, and the message was clear for us. We have to address these gaps. So this is where the way for us to deliver that, how we achieve that, is basically making sure that we have a better real-time inventory process, right? So we believe that, by having a real-time inventory process, we're going to be able to improve our product details page, our search results, be able to launch buy online, pick up in store, and improve performance, and at the same time also increase conversion. Right, to achieve that, we needed to, bring in some help, bring some technologies that will help us achieve that. So we know that product details page is driven by inventory, right? The search is driven by inventory. So offering buy online, pick up in store, you also need a reliable inventory solution. So that also allows you to provide that seamless experience to our guests. So what we're up against. So we have live calls to our inventory system for our product details page. We also have a design limitation in the sense of latency. We're going to share a little bit more about that. And we also had some issues around memory limitation. The entry data size for store inventory cache is huge. So the way the calls are made through a real-time call to our distributor order management system, and that is a SaaS solution, and the calls are made through an internal service bus that we call ESB. So when those calls are made, we pass the store ID and the product SKU, and we'll see in a moment why that is also adding to our issues. DOM responds with the inventory status for network and for the store. So anytime we make that call, we hoping to get some answers back from the inventory level in the store, and also the inventory level for the network. And network for us is our distribution centers, right? So we ship out of our distribution centers. So the inventory that we have on our site will be based on the network inventory status. And for the store, it's more for us to display for available in store, what we call FIS, find in store, to see if the item is in the store before you walk into the store, or for us to serve something like BAPIS or same-day delivery through our stores. Our DOM system, as I shared, is a SaaS and hosted in the cloud. Our inventory values are cached locally to support some few attributes. The average response time for the round-trip call to DOM is 3 to 5 seconds. This is not feasible. I mean, it's an eternity when you're talking about a digital system. For online inventory, the stock level are cached in our ATG application servers. And because we have many instances running, each instance caches a local value that is only visible to that single instance. So you have a quick disconnect between the different systems. At 56 byte per entry, so that's the size of each of the inventory entry we receive, times about 1,400 stores. We have about 30,000 SKU. So when you multiply all this, you easily end up with about 3 gig of additional memory needed per instance. And our system were already maxed out at 14 gig. And I'm saying maxed out because that's the maximum we can allocate to those systems without creating a lot of congestion, right? Like, garbage collection could be a huge suspension time when you have a big memory. So those are all challenges that we had to deal with. So these graphs are mostly to illustrate what I was just talking about, right? So the top left one was the calls, how the calls go from our system to our DOM system, and the latency, right? So you have the logical hops that you could see there, and that introduces latency, right? To the left-hand side is the application instances. Each one of them are having their own local inventory cache that is not shared by the other servers. So server 1 will have a value of the same SKU. Server 2 will also have another value of the same SKU, and they could be different, which is the problem, right? And then the storage capacity challenges that we just talked about, right? So those were some of the challenges we're up to. Then enter Redis. we had to identify some of the criteria, basically how we solve these issues, right? So we're looking for ways to limit issues around graceful failover, right? We wanted to eliminate a single source of shared data. Having one single instance of the same value that could be different from the other instance. So those are all challenges that we needed to solve. We needed a solution that would provide great guest experience without heavy cost. We wanted reliability, so we have a stable system for our guests. We wanted a secure system to keep our guests protected. We wanted low maintenance, so our associate and team members can spend time on other business priorities. We also wanted quick and easy implementation. Redis checked all those boxes for us. So for us, it was moving to the next steps. And the next step for us was doing the proof of concept, right? So we wanted to run some tests. The good thing about Redis that we didn't get from all the other competitors that we're checking that come with different kind of configuration. And we're not sure which one to pick, so we had to run different POCs for each type of configuration. And for each one of them, we're basically averaging 57, between 57 and 120 milliseconds. Now, compare that, 57 to 120 compared to, 3,000 to 5,000 milliseconds. That's a big difference. It's a game changer. It was really a no-brainer. And if you wanted to know the reason why this is important, this conversion graph that I have at the bottom of the screen is how a latency on our PDP impacts our conversion. As you can see, we had a 500 millisecond impact to our PDP latency, and that went up to a 1% drop in our conversion. It is so critical. It's so important for us to make sure that we're providing quick, fast response to our application. And from 3 seconds to only, double-digit milliseconds, it was no-brainer. So for us, Redis was, the team we wanted to work with from that point on. So what we did was jump and get our implementations going. So we focus on a simplified, distributed, and resilient architecture. There's really nothing more you need to know about this architecture. That's basically what we did. We're able to just have Redis take care of hosting all the inventory cache, and everybody else just reads into Redis. And because we set it up with redundancy, it was perfect. I mean, for us, it was just the best implementation. And guess what? Doing that, we unlocked a lot of opportunities, a bunch of possibilities for us. So we solved our critical inventory need. We reduced our real-time calls. We improved our read performance. We improved our inventory accuracy. We solved our store inventory by providing even bar-based, and at the same time, we were piloting it on only a handful of stores. And during COVID, we actually accelerated that to the full chain. We expanded to the full fleet within a matter of a couple of weeks. And during that time, we had 0 changes to our Redis implementation, not even a capacity increase. This is how powerful it was. I mean, this is, again, let's make one thing clear. I'm not a Redis salesperson. So I'm, a fan of the system, somebody who used it and seen the results, seen the payback, and really proud of that, and just being happy sharing what our experience has been. And it's been great. And then we continue to improve that, right? So we embarked in a digital transformation. And within that digital transformation, it was clear to us that Redis Enterprise was the partner we want to continue with, right? You don't change a winning team. You keep going with the same team. So we decided to rebuild our e-commerce stack in GCP, taking a modern view of microservice API-first composable commerce. We migrated from Redis Enterprise to Redis Enterprise Cloud. So we're keeping Redis at the center of inventory again in this new platform because, again, it proved itself. There is no need changing that. So we simplified the implementation. We have a fully supported Redis implementation. So basically, instead of us running the enterprise on-prem and supporting the infrastructure, now it is fully hosted, fully supported by the Redis team. So now my good friends on the DevOps side who actually implement this can go about doing something else, right? And it's low cost, and the savings impact, as you would see in the subsequent slide, is really, really powerful. So this was our design. So again, very simple, powerful design. It is, again, grounded on the cloud approach, the cloud implementation of it. And we had the option of actually even looking at additional ways to leverage this, right? So, and we're going to see some of those in a few slides ahead, but just a new implementation in the cloud, but leveraging Redis Enterprise Cloud, very powerful. So looking ahead, so we have a bunch of new use cases. So and we've been working with the Redis team, assessing some of those. So we always seek to engage and excite our guests, and we always constantly evolve, right? So in our new platform, we decided to start leveraging Redis to do our CMS content caching, right? So CMS is mostly nothing other but your content management system, right? So your images, your static content and all those, right? So you could use that, right? And then we're engaging in a personalization roadmap with our new platform. With that personalization roadmap, it would have been challenging in our legacy system because there is no easy way for you to basically just cache a content for each individual person. Like we have about 3 million users a day. Imagine having a dedicated content just for each one of those users sitting in memory somewhere. I mean, it's almost impossible. But with Redis, we can achieve that, right? So we evolve in that, caching our search results. Now with personalization, each person's search is different and tied to that person. Well, legacy system, we can't. Redis allows that in this new platform. Our product and catalog caching, same approach, right? We have a lot of dedicated personalized content that we want to cache, and Redis is helping us unlock all those, empowering it up. So, and we continue to talk to our Redis friends and looking at way ahead, looking at opportunities that we can unlock together. And this is where I wanted to, share with you the big impact that Redis had with us. So, and let me walk you through this. Our real-time inventory calls to our providers is charged per call. So each time we make a call, there's a charge to that call. Now, in our normal customer journey for a PDP, for an order placement, so there are 3 juncture where we always make a real-time call. The first time you hit the product details page, we want to make sure that you're viewing the product as it is, right? So if it's out of stock, we want to let you know so you're not disappointed later. So we'll display that. And then when you go and you're happy with that and you want to add that item to your cart, we also do another check to make sure that, hey, you want to add this to your cart, do we still have it for you? That's another check we make. And then at the end, when you actually submit your order, before we take your money, we make sure that, we still have the product for you. So those are 3 calls that we make, and all these 3 calls are charged. Now, if you look, as we shared, we have about 3 million visits a day, right? So for each of this, every single call, 3 calls per visitor, so you're making about 9 million calls a day. Now, imagine if each one of those calls were about $1. So you're talking about a cost of 9 million a day. I mean, we're simplifying the math here, but just to see, because not all those 3 million are going to go through to convert. But if you have a high conversion rate, or if everybody's hitting your PDP, that's still a call, right? Most, about 50% 50% of our customers that are coming through directly into our PDP through search pages like Google or Bing search, right? So our PDP is hit a lot. So you can see how that adds up over time. Now, what we did is to simplify this, and this is where basically Redis came in and saved the day, right? So instead of calling our provider for the PDP, we now leverage Redis. So it's one single call for that SKU to the provider, and Redis keeps that. Now, when you hit add to cart, we don't call the provider, we call Redis. That's also a value of the same SKU that Redis will store locally. So instead of 9 million calling that provider to get that value, Redis makes the call, gets that value, and stores it. And if everybody just reads that one single value. The only time we call our provider is when we hit the submit button, which is the time we're ready to take your money. At that point, we make sure that our data centers, distribution centers have the actual accurate inventory for you. Now, from 3 calls that are charged, we now only have one single call that's charged. So I'm able to save 75% of my call. This is just one single use case. Now imagine the number of use cases where this could apply. Right? Any call that you make that you charged, hey, here's Redis. Use Redis, cache as much as you can, and only do the final call where you believe that, okay, this is where I really need to be 100% sure, right? The savings opportunities are really endless with Redis. So in summary, we wanted to share with you, so a few key takeaways here, providing a seamless experience between digital and physical, really key. Right? You always want to meet your customers where they are. So whether they're in physical, whether they're online, you're always there for them. In order for you to do that, you want to make sure that you resolve latency. Latency is a new outage. The slower your system, nobody waits, everybody moves on, and that's not a great experience. And hybrid system, as I shared, so we move from a legacy to a brand new transformation, right? And by doing that, we were able to leverage Redis for both, right? So there's a hybrid system that gave us the flexibility to migrate. While we were running the old, we had the new, and basically the Redis team just made things so simple for us, so we're able to just keep both going and working on our transformation while continuing to serve our guests with great experience. And cost savings. Cost saving is currently the top priority in IT. We always want to save costs, and here are some solutions out there today that can actually allow you to achieve that in a seamless, simple, straightforward way. And we've gone through that, and we're really, really happy with our experience and implementation of Redis, and wanted to share that with you all today. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Omar. It's inspiring to see how you overcame performance, cost, and cloud migration challenges and took your customer experiences to new heights through the power and flexibility of Redis Enterprise.